After how many years of waiting, Jake Paul vs KSI is on the verge of happening. I made a video a while back, which is now my most popular video on KSI vs Jake Paul, and I thought if people enjoyed it so much, why not do it again? But today I'll be comparing KSI and Jake Paul's best knockouts. First we'll take a look at Jake Paul's third best KO and compare it to KSI's. Ben Askren was definitely not here to hurt Jake Paul, as he came in looking like he forgot he was even fighting. Not too much to talk about here. Quick flash jab to blind Askren, followed up by a right, which Jake Paul used his body weight to really drive into Askren. Did the job here. What was weird was Askren kind of just stood there, but he probably didn't mind getting knocked out as soon as he could, because he went home with a fat paycheck. Askren has a better chin than that, and he probably just couldn't be bothered on the day. KSI's first ever fight, if you couldn't tell by the technique. Prior to the TKO, we had KSI applying pressure while Joe Weller kind of stood there. And this is a trend you'll definitely see with KSI opponents. They're waiting to get hit. So Joe, after getting absolutely destroyed for the past round, comes forward. KSI is testing the distance, measuring out Joe Weller before going for a right, which is completely zero technique, but Joe is too tired to do anything and takes the shot. KSI does the same thing over and over again, overwhelming Joe Weller, and the fight is waved off. And for Jake Paul, his number 3 was his KO against Ben Askren. In my opinion, I think Jake Paul's KO was better than this, but you tell me what you think. I mean, let's be honest, Joe Weller was not ready for that fight against KSI. Alright, let's have a look at Jake Paul's second best KO. Here, Jake Paul KOs his opponent on the back foot. Nate Robinson was about to launch an attack on Jake Paul, and Jake quickly responds with a right hook, which lands flush on Nate's face. Jake then weaves and allows Nate to fall straight to the floor. Jake's power and speed was too great for Nate Robinson. Jake Paul's opponents have been people that he can easily knock out, apart from Anderson Silva and maybe Tyron Woodley, but again, Tyron Woodley is pretty good, so you have to give him credit where it's due. Let's have a look at KSI's second best KO and see which is better. The absolute beast in Swarms went up against KSI and gave him his biggest challenge yet by far. Alright, enough of that. Swarms did nothing but run the entire fight, and when he was pressured by KSI, he just got hit. I mean, there's not much else to it. Swarms was knocked down about 24 times, so the final one we'll have a look at. After a lot of feints by KSI, Swarms fully raises his guard so he can't see anymore and curls into a bit of a ball, exactly what a pro boxer would do. KSI then brings a right to the body before missing an uppercut because Swarms has amazing evasion skills, but lands a clean left hook while Swarms was retreating, then considers if he wants to get back up and get hurt more or take the check and finish it, and he ends it there. That's number 2, and compared to Jake's number 2, I think they're quite equal, and honestly, I would say their number 2 KOs are very similar. Their best KOs are going to be interesting. Let's have a look at Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. Jake Paul's best KO. Tyron Woodley, an MMA legend who is known for good striking, comes in the YouTube boxing scene to take on Jake Paul. The first time didn't go so well for him. So after Tommy Fury pulled out of the fight and didn't pull out in other aspects, leading to the birth of his first child, Tyron was taking on Jake Paul on a very short notice. So skipping to the knockout, Jake Paul stands there and looks at the body before aiming and throwing at the body with a large hook, which leads to Tyron Woodley's guard going down to block. As he naturally does this, Jake Paul brings the shot up with all of his momentum and slumps Tyron Woodley while his guard was dropped. Alright, let's have a look at KSI versus Temper, which in my opinion is KSI's best knockout so far, and I know the bar is pretty high for that. Okay, KSI constantly throws out a jab to test the range between him and Temper and see if Temper will respond to KSI's feints. We see that when Temper doesn't react to the feint, this is when KSI knows he can come in, so he pounces and lands a right and switches stances as he follows through with a left hook. The power transferred well through his body, and as he goes into these punches, it was quick and honestly quite a shot. It also makes the fight between Jake and KSI now even more interesting. I would say though that overall Jake Paul's KOs have been a bit more impressive overall. He showed that he's calculated. If you want the mic that I've picked up recently that has really improved my sound quality, check out the link below. Other than that, I look forward to see KSI versus Jake Paul if it happens, and I've given in my predictions, so check the video out now. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.